everybody. Let's try that again, shall we? It's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean, and I'm looking forward to guiding you through today's Tabata Circuit. We're doing some classic moves today. This workout is great for a beginner. It's also awesome if you've been exercising for a while. So I hope that nobody shies away from creating a challenge for themselves. Let's go ahead and get started with a nice warm up. You know, I'm a huge fan of these lateral side-to-side step taps. I'm just gonna move my mat out of the way for a second. Give yourself a couple shoulder rolls in one direction, then the other. You can just be stepping side by side, starting to use as much space that you have available to you. Awesome idea. Change direction of those shoulder rolls, maybe getting elbows a little bit more involved, starting to make the circle bigger, and even as we finish up, perhaps doing the whole arm moving. But you gotta do what feels right for you today. So please honor however it is that your body feels and what you need. Great, so let's keep these lateral step taps, but we're gonna add in a little bit of an elbow drive and a hamstring curl. Can you point your knee down towards the floor? Can you take a little squeeze of the glute as you work to bring that heel up and kick towards your own butt? Start drawing your lower belly in, finding some contraction from the center line of your body. Let's get 4 more. 4, 3, we're gonna switch to a wide knee drive after this last one on each side. Here we go, so wide knees. You can start to get your heart rate up a little bit more by bringing your arms up overhead. If that's too challenging for you, just keep those arms down low and still find this knee drive. I think that we're worth 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Start to just move those feet. Let's take a little jog in place. You can stay right here, jogging in one place, working to bring that whole heel all the way down towards the floor, or make use of the space that you have. Can you go a little bit forwards and backwards? It's gonna help you to get your heart rate up just a little bit, but be careful. Maybe you didn't know that trash can was there. I did it. Okay. Awesome. We'll spend just about 30 more seconds finding a little movement forwards and backwards. Or remember, you're just staying in that one place if that's all the space that you have allows. 3, 2, back to the center. Just find some fast feet. As fast as you can move those feet. A little shaking of the glutes. Feel free to get those arms involved a little bit too. We're here to have fun. Get a little in and out with those feet. Be a little creative, a little in and out, a little forwards and backwards. We got 10 seconds left right here. Awesome. Give me some gentle little kicks forward. We're gonna work to make them a little bit bigger each time, warming up those hamstrings. If you're struggling a little balance-wise already, with just alternating this big kick forward, can you take the bend out of your knee when you do it? Maybe add in a couple steps between. I like to give myself a nice 3-step count. Helps me to naturally shift to the opposite leg. Toes flexed back towards your nose. A little stretch through the heel. Do you feel that in the hamstring? Awesome. Let's get our last 3, 2, 1. Plant your feet just a little bit wider than shoulder width distance apart. Take a generous bend in your knees. Inhale your arms all the way up overhead. Right arm comes down to the side. Reach to the right side. Inhale back up through center. Left arm comes to the left side. Reach to the left side. Let's do 1 more to each side. This will be the last move in our warm up. Starting to warm up the sides of the body a little bit more. Finding some extra length. Inhale, both arms up, reach up. Ground through your feet, maybe walk them closer together. Look up. Look up with your eyes, nose, chin, whatever can look up. Lift from your chest. Chin comes back to chest, and exhale, arms come down by your side. All right. The first move that we have today is going to be bicep curls. We're going to do our bicep curls in 3 different ranges of motion. Full range of motion, just the shoulders to 45 degrees, just 45 degrees back down to the hips, and then finish with that full range of motion. Sounds easy, I know, but you might want to have a variety of weights nearby if you find that your muscles get so fatigued that you want to stop. Take that quick break and as fast as you can, get back to the movement. If you need to actually put the weight down and just focus on finding this contraction through your bicep, you can get some great isometric bicep work, just imagining pressing against something if things are really engaged. And at the same time, let's be real, you can get some real janky bicep curls by not engaging through your biceps at all. Don't do that. All right. So I want you to think about the way that your biceps work if you were going to be pressing against a table, and notice how things fire up, and that's what we're going for today. Grab the weights that you would like to use for our first round. We got 4 rounds. We start in 3, 2, 1. There you go. All right, so slight little bend of your knees. Make sure you're not overarching your back behind you. So a gentle tuck of your pelvis. And I'm going to encourage you to stand in one spot right here. If you find that you're wiggling around a lot, that your balance is a little bit off, then come on down to your knees. I'll show you how we can do the same thing from our knees to kind of take out the fidgeting, to take out a little bit of the balance aspect. And you can do this sitting in a chair also. We're almost there. Awesome. Okay, so if you're coming down to your knees, you're just kneeling on the floor. We're gonna get that from the top of the shoulders right down to 45 degrees. Still, keep your elbows in close by your side. Make sure you're not overarching your back. So even from down here on the floor, it's a little tuck of the pelvis, coming down to 45 degrees, and then coming right back up. I got a proud lift of my chest, and I hope that you do too. How straight can you make your wrists during this motion? So there's a nice long line from your elbow up to your knuckle. You're not curling with your wrist first. This is a great one to do in front of a mirror so that you can really make sure that you're getting to this 45-degree angle, that you're not going lower, and then you're coming right back up. Awesome. Take your quick little break. You can stay on the floor. You can challenge yourself a little bit more with that balance and core if you stand up. Y'all, I am sweating. We are now going to go from 45 degrees down to the hips. I want you to touch the back of the weight onto your thigh. Let's do it. All the way down, all the way back up. Well, all the way back up to 45 degrees. Check in with yourself. Are you letting things drop and just working on the way up? Maybe slow down a little bit on this eccentric movement, because you can get a lot of strength there too, not just on the contraction of bringing your hands back to 45 degrees. We are almost there. We got one more round of these bicep curls. Make sure you're not letting those shoulders round forward. Take a break. I know mine were starting to. It's early. It's a Monday. Summer is officially over, everybody. Yesterday, the pool closed. Okay, let's get that full range of motion again. I initially chose my apartment here in the District of Columbia because it has the largest outdoor pool. I think in like all of DC, it's an Olympic-sized pool. I've moved, but I cannot move out of the neighborhood because I have so many friends who still live there. Oh my God, it's just the best pool ever. Love to read a book, enjoy some sunshine, sit in the shade, get your feet wet. I'd love to hear about what some of your favorite things to do at the pool are. Okay, woo! We did it. Take a moment, shake it off, shake those arms out, maybe get a little bit silly, especially if you're listening to music. Get a little weird. Let's grab a quick sip of water as you walk it off. And then we're gonna continue with another upper body focus move. Okay, this is our last super upper body focus move before we move into some more total body work. We're gonna go for some rows and tricep extensions. Once again, you can do these standing or you can do these kneeling. I think I'm gonna go for a little bit of half and half. All right, so feet are just about shoulder width distance apart. We're gonna hinge at the hips. So you're hinging at the hips. You're not rounding from your mid or upper back so that your back is coming a little bit flatter towards the floor. The more that you hinge towards the floor, the more challenging the move's gonna be. So maybe you just stay a little bit upright. Maybe it's just a slight hinge at the hips, glutes stretching back behind you, but not overarching that back. So it's still a little tuck to that pelvis. Hopefully that makes sense. Awesome. From here, we're just gonna roll those arms up, squeezing shoulder blades towards each other, letting elbows lead, and then extending out into a tricep extension. So let's go ahead, let's do it. Let's do it, everybody. Have a variety of weights nearby, just in case you need to switch to something lower. We start in 3, 2, now. Awesome. Chin in line with your chest, find that big row, and then extension, straightening out the forearm from just below the elbow. So once you've found this row, once the chest is open and shoulder blades are squeezed, they're gonna stay right there until you paint the head of your dumbbell back down your thigh to release from the row. Is your lower belly pulled in? I sure hope so. That's just gonna help keep your back feeling good. All right, now you can just jam out to the music you put on or the sound of your breath. Bam, take a break. That was great. Wasn't round 1 so good? All right, I'm gonna come onto the floor for round 2 because I like the idea of doing these kneeling as opposed to standing all the way. Give it a try. Let's hear what you think. We got 5 more seconds till we get started. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So still finding that same big pull. If you're feeling tired, maybe one arm extends and then the opposite arm extends. Or maybe you do one arm and extension and then the other. If you want a little bit of extra work, instead of letting these hands hang low, maybe you draw them both up so you stay in a row, extend, extend, and lower down. Or maybe you add in like a little extra of the 2 working together. It's up to you. I want you to take a little bit of authority here. This is your workout. What feels right for your body today? Take a break. Just make sure that you feel a little bit of challenge, but you feel good form. So if you're finding a lot of rounding in your back, if you can't quite extend that arm behind you for the triceps, maybe your weight's a little too heavy, in which case go to something lighter and just engage as much as possible. Let's do it. Ready? So we're gonna row, extend back. Oh, that's so good. That way, with the slightly lighter weight, I can find that full extension. I can really squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Notice the tricep working a little bit more than that slightly heavier weight where I was just like getting a little tired. Have you tried turning your wrist up towards the ceiling when they stretch behind you? So instead of knuckles facing towards each other, get a little bit more of that forearm working. Whoo, maybe a little deeper into that tricep as you rotate your palms up towards the ceiling behind you. We made it. We got one more round. One more round. I'm going to stand up for this last round. I'm proud to say that I have knee sweat marks on the floor right now. let's talk about what's making that happen in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so the more that you are really pressing your feet, you're creating a little bit of a squeeze of the quads, of the thighs, a little tension in the glutes. The more of your body that you are engaging right now, the more that you're going to get out of this workout. So just like before when I said, if you're just like swinging your arms around, if you're not actually finding the squeeze into your muscle group, you're not going to sweat very much here. Maybe you sweat just because the weight that you're playing with is challenging or the room is heavy. Yes! I got real worried there. Exercise gods are on our side today. All right. Hopefully you kept going through that little brief pause there during our rows and tricep extensions. Okay, I'm gonna move my mat to the side because I don't want to trip on it. We don't need it for this next exercise. We're gonna do step out into squat, step into overhead press. I'm gonna try with my heavier weights. If I need to, I'm gonna go lighter because I'm gonna be smart for my body today, and I hope that you are too. All right, so to get started, stand up tall. Roll those shoulders down and back. Draw your core in. We're gonna step out to the side, carefully planting your feet. You're gonna lower down to a squat. You can lead with your arms. You can have your weights at your shoulders and work to bring elbows towards your thighs. Whatever feels good. Stepping out into the squat, step back in, overhead press. Let's just do one side to begin with. All right, so just the right side. Coming up in 3, 2, let's do it. Awesome. So we're gonna step out to the side, step in, a little baby squat, overhead press. Then back out to the side, in, press through your heels, arms come up overhead. Weight is in your heels, weight is in your heels, weight is in your heels. Oh yes! All right, we're back. Now we're gonna step out to the left. Let's do it. Squat, squat to the inside. Yes. I just want to apologize right now. As you can see, I'm not teaching from my usual location today because I am an amazing lady who is helping out a fellow team leader in need. But the Wi-Fi here is not as amazing of a lady as I am. Here's some really excellent. Okay, oh my gosh, we're getting into it. Other side, back to the right. You know, this is just a great reminder that some days things do not go according to plan. What are you gonna do? Are you just gonna throw the towel in on those days and be like, oh well, give up completely? I hope the answer is no. Take your quick little break. We got one more time on the opposite side. I think the internet struggles right here, though, are making me sweat even more, if that's possible. Let's do it. Oh my gosh, we're almost there. Squats for days. Take a moment here. I know we're on our last set. You're starting to get a little tired. Just make sure your knees are tracking with your big toes. Knees are pointing forward, toes are pointing forward. Try not to bring in any extra turns into your feet. Oh, we did it. We get to get down to the floor next. Almost done, y'all. We're more than halfway. Okay, you might need a slightly lighter weight for this next one. One of my faves. We're gonna do some dead bugs. So we're gonna get a little ab work. We're gonna get some lat pullovers. It's gonna be great. Grab a quick little sip of water if you need it. And then let's lay down our backs. Coming into a reverse tabletop. So lower back is pressed down into the floor. Knees are as stacked on top of hips as possible. The closer you have your knees to the center line of your body, the easier. The further you have your knees from the center line of your body, the harder. We're gonna start off doing opposite arms, opposite legs. So you can either just tap your toe or your heel down towards the floor as the other arm comes all the way up overhead. And the head of the dumbbell, if you can, taps the floor. You can extend your leg out long, heel close towards the floor, as long as your lower back stays on the mat, or you can extend that leg up closer towards the ceiling for a little bit more engagement of your legs, just making sure that back stays on the floor. All right, let's do opposite arm, opposite leg in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. I'm gonna start off with these slightly. Do I have the same weights? I do. Awesome. So opposite arm, opposite leg, one arm just stays right up overhead, right above your chest, and as quietly as you can, tap the head of the dumbbell to the floor behind you. And then return to pressing your lower back down into the mat. You know, they need to make headphones that do not turn on other sounds when your arm touches the headphone. Who's with me? Take a break. All right, next up, we're gonna hold a contraction with one side, and then the opposite side's gonna move. So you're gonna hold the head of the dumbbell, or maybe you're just pressing your hand palm against the thigh. Let's start with the right arm, right leg. And here we go. So just pressing either your hands or the head of the dumbbell, and you're still working to find this full extension, but don't let that weight slam down towards the floor. Getting a little extra work controlling through the side of the body, through that oblique, and let, as you tap down quietly, or just getting as close as you can. Ooh, still press the lower back into the floor. Notice if you're starting to slack the lat a little, and take a break. Next up, we're gonna do the left side. Left side only moves. We're so close to the end, everyone. I know, I said we were doing some basic moves, but I did not say that they were going to be easy. Here we go. So much of it is going to depend on how your weekend went, or whatever day you're tuning in. So if you maybe were off on your nutrition game, maybe didn't sleep so well, maybe your hydration is not where it ideally could be, all of these things are going to affect your exercise. And can you imagine if you felt like last night you didn't necessarily eat well, you didn't sleep well, you had a couple drinks, and you're dehydrated? Oh my gosh. Some days, it really is take a break. Just about showing up. You just keep consistently showing up and doing your best and making changes when, where, as, and however you can. All right, back to alternating right arm, left leg. So everything is gonna have an opportunity to move once more. Let's do it. Right arm, left leg, and then left arm, right leg. Make sure you're returning to pressing that lower back into the mat and really keeping your core drawn in each time. We're almost there. Yay! Put your weights down. We're gonna flip over. Our last move is body weight only. Oh my gosh. Oh, look at my beautiful sweat silhouette. This shirt has like some cutouts in the back, so I think it also looks like abs. I've currently got an 8-pack of back abs. I'm not sure that's something to brag about. Okay, so next up, we're gonna go for a variety of plank, bear, down dog options. You don't have to do, you can do as much or as little of those as you want. We wanna be in bear and plank as much as possible, but I want you to think about using down dog as an active recovery posture to do something, to still be finding it a little challenging your shoulders, because we worked them pretty well when we first got started with those overhead presses too, to just do your best for these 40 seconds. All right, so the move is going to be starting off with your legs out behind you in plank. Make sure that your hips aren't super high to begin with, so hips are just about in line with or slightly below the shoulders. Then legs are gonna walk in, so knees hover, and if you need to, maybe you press up into down dog here, and if you need to, maybe you press up into down dog from your back plank. Well, let's just like move through those. We start in 3, 2, 1, here we go. So ideally you're going from plank into bear, into plank, into bear. And you can hang out maybe for a second or two in each of these postures. Keep working on having your weight shifted forward a little bit during these plank and bears so that your shoulders are on top of your hands both. And then if you need a break, shifting your hips back. This mat is real spongy. Taking a quick down, oh my gosh, down dog. What a danger. And then you can shift yourself back forward to find your bear to plank. Oh my gosh. I survived. We survived round 1. It was a little scary. It was a little scary, I'm not gonna lie. All right, we're gonna get to do it 2 more times. But isn't that part of the thrill, doing something that seems a little bit scary, and then you live, and you're like, that was great. Okay, here we go again, round 2. So taking that plank, maybe you're just holding out in your plank, maybe you're enjoying plank and bear, maybe you're just holding out in your bear. Maybe it's one of those days and you're like, I'm just here for the down dog, and that is okay too. If you're really having some trouble with your wrists, you can do these same things on your forearm, stepping out into plank, stepping forward into bear, even enjoying a little bit of dolphin pose from here on the forearms. 3, 2, 1. 2 more times to go. And then we're done for this afternoon. Let's go. I'm pretty excited. I love working out. I love finding movement. I really think it's medicine, but I also love when it's over. Yay. Here we go right now. Remember when we did those rows earlier, how much you were really squeezing your shoulder blades towards each other? I want you to think about that again as you're stepping from your plank into bear. To really keep that upper back engaged. You can think of our earlier moves, scary mat, as a warm-up for everything we're doing right now. And remember, as long as you're doing something, you're doing something. So maybe you're taking a quick active break, enjoying these down dogs, or just holding plank. We got 1 more time for what can you do? Make sure you're still breathing. Don't hold your breath here, especially as things start to get a little sweaty, get a little tired. Oh, scary. I regret the final destination joke I made to someone about exercise last week. Okay, bring those knees down to the floor. We did it. Send your glutes back towards your heels. Walk your hands as far forward as feels comfortable for your body today. Just come back to your breath, relax. Let's take 3 more super slow breaths here. Keep extending the length of your exhale. And then next exhale, we're going to pull ourselves all the way forward to come into some form of Cobra or up dog. Maybe you press the tops of the toes into the floor. You can squeeze your glutes and lift your thighs up off the mat. Or maybe you're just being gentle to yourself today. Whichever one of those you went for, go ahead and look over one shoulder. Oh, getting such a great stretch in those lower abs right now. Go ahead and look over the other shoulder. Head back to center. Let's pass through tabletop and take a couple cat-cows. So open your fingers really wide like a starfish. Elbow creases shining towards each other. Start with a neutral tabletop. Engage through your upper back. Draw your belly in, eye gaze down towards the floor, and then start the movement with your hips. And allow that articulation of your spine to work its way all the way up towards the top of your head. And then once again, change the movement with your hips, and then allow it to just work its way up each vertebrae. Let's take one more time in each direction. And then we'll return to our neutral tabletop one last time. Go ahead, tuck your toes under, send your hips up towards the ceiling, walk your hands to your feet, walk your feet to your hands. We're gonna enjoy this dangle. Head relaxes down towards the floor. If your shoulders creeped all the way up towards your ears, engage through your back again. Seat those shoulder blades further down your spine. Belly can come more towards your thighs. Shake your head, yes. Shake your head, no. Keep the weight in your heels. Bend your knees. Take a moment right here. Feel that separation of your shoulder blades, the expansion of the upper back side of your body, and then slowly roll yourself up. One vertebrae at a time, stacking hips over heels, shoulders over hips, head over heart. Awesome. Inhale your arms up overhead, reach up towards the ceiling, look up one more time, get that stretch on your belly, then return chin to your chest. Exhale, arms come down by your side. Let's take one more big breath. Bend your knees, inhale up, look up, chin to chest. Exhale, relax your arms down. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you so much for sticking around